It's not so much the heat, it's the windidity. Let's go find a fuel barrel. So we're heading to our last bean field today. Got this one wrapped up Monday morning. Hopefully we'll be switching over to wet corn here. My brother might be doing that because his head's chattering, and instead of fighting it, we just got a 80-acre field of beans left. I might just do, and then he might switch over to corn, so we'll see what happens there. So it kind of stinks too, as I'm the office geek, and so right now we're trying to, FSA is letting us update yields, and so I got to send all those to landlords. Being able to do this on the road and send this stuff digitally is sure a huge help, because yeah, being able to do this out here in the field, not having to go back, drive around, mail stuff, I can sign stuff, email it, and hopefully get the job done. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now while I get my pit crew out there to fill me up. Kind of in a sticky situation right here. I'm gonna have him lead me through the hills and I'll follow him.
Which way do you want to go? First combine route down the road a little bit further.
So as I pull into a new field, this is my old field, I want to come in here and update these settings. So luckily it's got a boundary locator, so sometimes when you first pull it up and you're actually in the field, it'll pull up like the 3 closest fields to this area. And so all I have to do is, this is the one we want. If it's not, if I'm kind of far away, I come in down here to view all, and it'll give a list of all of our fields. We'll go back, click OK, then that resets my field, and it'll actually create a work group. So that's kind of what's new with these Gen 4 monitors. It creates a work group, so like when you're in the field and say that tractor over there wants to join and the other combine's in, it starts sharing that data with everybody, and so I can see what he's doing there, and then they'll actually show up on this screen as like a black dot, and I can tell where they're at in the field, even the grain cart, which is kind of nice, because like say at night you just kind of want to know what vicinity they're in. The only thing I wish they had updated is maybe allowing them to do different colors so you can tell which one's which, because they're all black right now. So a combine's black circle and the tractor's a black circle, so that'd be something that they could update maybe, just have different colors for different machines. But start shaving these things off. So I kind of started my ends, but since I'm the only one here yet, my dad's gonna come back on the tractor once he gets everybody situated with the wet corn. I kind of boo-booed a little bit of trash there. Well, while I'm waiting for a cart, I might as well see how I'm doing. Mind you, these are still end rows, but one there. Good enough for me. For those of you S680 and 780 boys, yes, these 770s still make the wah-wah sound when we auger. Those have like a wet gear case or something in them. They don't make any sound when they unload, which would be disappointing to my younger son. So my brother was over there chatting on the radio, and the spot that they were heading to, which is actually right by our behind the house, behind the farm, we call it the house because it's where we all grew up at. It might be a little bit dry for wet corn. And so what wet corn is we'll haul it to a feedlot, and what they do, they'll run it through a roller mill, kind of grind it up, and then they'll pack it kind of in a bunker area and use that as another feed source as well. So a lot of times they'll have silage, wet corn, all kinds of different things. They'll have dry hay, maybe some corn stalks, whatever, gluten, just different formulas for whatever rations they want to run. But so like wet corn, they'll usually take it anywhere from 24 to 31, I think, just whatever they can get it at. If it's a little on the drier end, they might add water to it to get the right pack and stuff like that. So that's what wet corn is, in case if you're wondering. So we got a pivot that sits right along here, and it doesn't quite get completely out of the field. And so what I got to do is pick alongside it, kind of give it an area to walk out, and that way I can come in along the other side and harvest it out then. So sorry, I forgot to show you. I came along here and I set an angle so I can kind of go along this pivot. That's kind of where I want to start, so I can make sure this pivot gets out of the way first. But I come in here, set a track. I called it track 1 just because that's a default new track. And then I do an auto B method, where I just set A and then I drive for like 50 feet, and then it automatically counts it down, and then it sets that angle. You can do it multiple ways to set a straight track, but that's the easiest for just kind of picking an angle for cutting soybeans. Some guys are a little more adamant at the specific degree they go, but any kind of slight angle, you can usually kind of guess whatever angle you want to go. But sometimes it depends on wind direction too. If you can kind of help it, you like to try to go where the wind's maybe kind of a crosswind instead of following you. But sometimes that's just not in the cards. That's kind of how I get a field started with my angle, and then I can just, we'll catch you in the next video. Stabbing through the heart of these are doing really well. There's actually some green left in them, which kind of makes it a little tougher to go through with the combine. As you can see, they're still really dry. That's the current yield. Sometimes they'll hit over 90. Over here you can kind of see this is my horsepower usage. It's kind of got a yellow line. As you can see, it's using quite a bit of horse. This is a 35-foot head. Just when they get that little bit of green in them, it makes them a little bit tougher. It makes the combine run a little bit more. But if they're better beans, it's well worth it. Kids on the phone. Careful. That broke a guard, and it's always right on the end, but I think I'll be able to get by replacing this section right here and be able to finish out. It's just kind of catching a little bit. So we're waiting on a truck. We just got one running. We should probably have two, but all the other trucks are up there helping my brother pick wet corn. So the wait is here. So today's really windy out, and that can kind of create some issues with your spreaders. And this combine's equipped with a spreader that you can control the speeds. It's got 2 spinners on it. You can kind of control the speeds on how fast and how far it throws it. One of the things you can do is, you can see right here, this is my spread. So since my wind's coming from this way, I'm kind of going to want to push it this way, because the stems are a little green, and if I get carryover into the field, into my land or wherever the crop still is. Sorry, I had the music on. What will happen is right there in the bottom, it'll kind of bunch up. It'll start to collect that old residue if I blow it too far into the crop I'm spreading or cutting. The things I'm going to come and do over here is, I got it kind of going 3 clicks to the right, and I got it only at 50% spread pattern. These are meant to go for up to wider heads, I think even up to 45 foot, and so I don't need to use that full pattern. But what I want to do is kind of kick it to the right a little more, so when I'm going over here, I'm not shooting it out into stuff I haven't cut yet, causing the head to bunch up when I come back through, while still getting somewhat of an even pattern. It kind of throws, it's not super even when I have to do this, but it's not bad. I'm trying to do it as even as I can without causing cutting issues. Also, one of the nice things about these little bit newer combines is you got a lot of buttons you can program. Like there's E right here, and you got others over here that you can kind of program to whatever you want it to be. And so actually when I turn around at the end, I can flip it. When I kick it, it'll flip that spreader the other way, so I don't have to be touching buttons over on the screen all the time. My old one, you'd have to go in and, well, I didn't have it on my old one, but I think if you did, we had it on one of them, you'd have to be touching that screen all the time. Or was it a button? Now I can't remember. You ever have that? It's probably one of the most boring jobs on the farm, is running a crane cart, one combine, one truck. I hope he has unlimited data. Auto maintain feature has been kind of working since my tailings deal started working.
Okay, Riley, when you dump on these trucks, since it's wet corn, we want to keep them clear full the best we can, okay?
So what it's doing is,
You don't run your trap much over halfway, I'd say, because wet corn.
so this blue line means it's functioning because the tailings is actually kind of coming through. If you can see it kind of slide down, it's actually moving, and it's taking pictures of what's in that tailings return. And then it's making adjustments. As you can see, this is auto. That's kind of when it's doing the adjustments to the machine. Kind of cool. You kind of set it to where you want it, and then it just maintains it. So I'm losing members. Lost my car driver because the truck driver, my sister-in-law, had to go somewhere. So my dad hopped in the truck.
Gordon, he said keep hauling. He'll let us know when to quit.
So, now where was I? Anyway, so my dad's running the truck now, so I'm just kind of going back and forth and I'll dump. But it's been kind of slow anyway, since we got one truck. Need about two would be about right, but it is what it is. They're picking wet corn and nobody cares about me. How's supper going for you? Say, when are you gonna run the cart for me?
When I grow up.
Oh, when you grow up? It's a good plan. How about now? Are you older now?
I'm gonna be a cowboy when I grow up.
You're gonna be a cowboy when you grow up? Such a disappointment.
And if you need some extra money, a cash out refinance could give you.
Dad's showing up. This is what's nice about doing this. So I'm going to turn my auger on. And then I can customize these buttons. So this is going to be my trap. And then it's got a creeper mode where I just pull it over to the right and then push forward or back. Or there's Dad in the camera. I'll do a more elaborate version of this later, but it's really hard to see outside right now. The spout on this cart tilts too, so we got that on B. A's the trap that opens up for the auger. For those of you new, there's a trap door inside that allows you to close it off from the auger. That way it doesn't overload your auger. You're not welcome. So I'm really hoping this average holds on. I guess we'll see. Not much left. Well, here we go. Soybeans 2020 is in the book. We just have one book. We're not like those big operations that have 2 books. They say plural. You ever notice that? And what books? Boy, and you can't beat that view. Never does it justice. Yeah, Garrett, you can pat Grandpa on the back. They did 90 bushel to the acre. That's total field average too. It's not just some strip somewhere.
Variety were these.
What do you think, bud? Is Grandpa trying to figure out the receiver hitch? Did you pat him on the back? Oh, that's never a good deal.
Huh?
That's heavy duty. Why don't you put that one in first?
No, he did exactly.
It's the thought that counts. That is kind of, yeah. You want Daddy to do that one, or can you do this one? Can you push that one on there? I'll help you. There you go.
Ah, great.
That's how that works.
Bud. Way to go.
Bye, Dad.
I think I might just pull it inside for tonight, because we may not be needing it in the morning. We may be just running one machine on wet corn here, so instead of leaving it sit outside out front and taking up space, might as well take space inside. Good night, Ethel. Now we gotta haul everything home, huh?
Why we're gonna have them at home?
Because they don't need to be out here in the field. Did I get it?
Yep.
Did I find the light? Well, we're gonna say goodnight for tonight, okay? This will be the end of this video, 10-4.
10-4.
All right, can you say see you on the next one?
See you on the next one.
Later, guys, thank you.